Hey YouTube, welcome back to Escape Roots Yoga. I'm Jody Scarrow, and today we are doing a yoga class that is focused on the glutes and the core. Let's get started down in a child's pose. You can just walk those hands out in front of you and just give yourself a few breaths here to fully come into the space, to fully arrive in the body. I taught this sequence in a yoga class yesterday, and I liked it. I think it's something that will feel kind of good for you, and there's some poses in it that I don't typically teach. So when you feel ready, begin to draw the awareness to the belly. And as you breathe, let the air, let the prana flow into the belly. Feeling it expand, and then exhale, drawing the belly back towards the spine. Inhale, let the belly get round. Exhale, pull the belly to the spine. And now let's inhale, send the air behind the heart. So kind of between the side ribs into that area behind the chest. Feeling a nice big expansion through the upper back as you inhale. And a contraction as you exhale. Great, and when you're ready, let's roll our way forwards into a tabletop position. Let's tuck the toes under and rise up into a bear pose. So we want about 2 inches between the knees and the floor. Find a little external rotation with the arms, so almost like you're trying to open a jar. And then from here, take the right foot back towards a high plank. Engage the core like you're trying to flatten out the torso or widen the torso, and then take your left foot back. Now let's take the right foot forwards, left foot forwards. Let's take the left foot back, keep that core engaged, right foot back, left foot forwards, right foot forwards. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog, nice work. 2 breaths here. From here, inhale, roll your way forwards to a high plank. Exhale, bend the knees. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. So inhale, roll your way forwards. We'll take that again. Exhale, knees bend, so find your bear. And then send the hips up and back for downward facing. One more. Inhale, roll forwards. Exhale, bend the knees. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. This time, roll your way forwards, but bring the right knee with you and drop the foot in between the hands. Rise up into a low lunge, so back knee is on the floor. Palms are facing one another, and you're trying to find some space between the ears and the shoulders. Try to get the very top of the back foot on the mat, so the sole of the foot is exposed to the sky. Hands come down to frame the foot, and then gently crawl your way back for a half split. You're going to keep a little bend in that front knee, especially since it's the beginning of practice, but keep peeling your toes back towards your face, and try to pull your right heel towards that left knee. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 2 more like this. Inhale. Exhale, keep trying to pull your right hip back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to fold. Nice work. Inhale, come back to that halfway lift. See if you can take your left arm to the outer edge of right foot and then extend that right arm up towards the sky for a little twist. Try to press your ankle and wrist together. That's going to help you with balance. Try to wring out the torso here. And then let's crawl our way back forwards. Both biceps come up by the ears, back to that low lunge, and then curl your back toes under and rise up for a crescent lunge. Fire up the back knee, keep it nice and straight, and then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lean your way forwards, float the hands back up by your sides, and then lower the knee down here, nice and slow. Hands crawl to the left. Turn your back leg, your left leg, so your knee is facing the long edge of the mat, and then take your left hand to the back of the mat, right arm up towards the sky. So we're in a kind of half moon here. So right leg is lifted. You're lifting with that heel of the right foot. You might start to feel some activation in the legs. That's great. And then inhale here. Exhale, let's drop the right elbow down towards the right knee. Inhale, extend. This time bring the right bicep up by the right ear. Getting a nice big stretch. Get nice and long. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Nice work. From here, drop the right foot down. Crawl your way back to the top of the mat. And you're going to bend that right knee like you're coming into warrior two, but with that back knee still on the floor. From here, inhale, take the hands together behind the head. You can interlace the hands. And then as you exhale, you're going to drop the right elbow down towards the right knee, engaging the core, trying to make a nice C curve with the upper body. And then inhale, come back up. Keep pressing the right knee out and trying to kind of engage your glute on that front leg. See what that feels like. Inhale here. Exhale, elbow to knee. Find that C curve. Pull the belly button in towards the spine and then inhale, come back up. 3 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Crawl your way back to the left. Right arm reaches up towards the sky, but this time keep your right foot on the floor. Maybe bring that right bicep up by the ear. Maybe even turn your chest open towards the sky, coming into a little gate pose action. Inhale here. And then exhale, let's crawl back towards the top of the mat. Find yourself in a wide leg pyramid. Back knee comes up as you work your front leg towards straight. Inhale, come back to a lunge. So bending the front knee, lifting the chest. Exhale, take it back to a pyramid. 2 more. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. This time, inhale forwards, lift the back leg up and come into a warrior 3. So hands can just come to heart center in prayer for today. And then as you exhale, let's drop the left knee behind the right, coming into a Shiva squat. Try to shift your weight into the heel of the right foot. 3 breaths here. Really feeling that glute starting to fire up. And then bring the fingertips down to the mat. Touch your right toes down to the floor. And then shift your weight back. Left toes on the floor. Hopefully you knew what I meant. And we're going to come into this little kind of curtsy squat here. That's a toe stand. So if I've lost you, your left toes are on the mat. Left glute is sitting right on top of the left heel. And then the right leg is just kind of daintily crossed over. And if you don't feel dainty, that's fine. It's yoga. It's supposed to feel different for whoever's practicing, depending on the day. And let's take both hands to heart center if you can. We're going to take about 3 breaths here. Wobbles are welcome. Okay, when you're ready, crawl your way back forwards. Extend that left leg up towards the ceiling, coming into a standing split. And then take a bend in your front knee. Step your left toes back far and come into a warrior 1. Inhale here. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back. Slide the thumbs down the back leg. Lift the chest here. Exhale, roll forwards, humble warrior. From here, begin to shimmy your right shoulder underneath that front leg. Maybe you want to keep the arms straight out to the side or turn your thumbs down towards the ground and bend the elbows, seeing if you can grab hold of your wrists behind your back, or maybe just one, or maybe just the fingers. Maybe even on your shirt. Here for 3. For 2, drop the hips a little lower, keep tucking the right hip underneath you. And 1, release. We're gonna crawl over to the left, take a deep bend in the left knee for Skandasana. Hands can come to heart center or maybe extend out to the side. Keep pressing into that right heel and maybe keeping a little bend in your right knee. When you're ready, crawl back to the top of the mat. Hard flex both feet for Revolve Skandasana. So you're on the outer edge of both feet and the right knee is really falling over to the side. Try to find a little external rotation in the left hand, so like you're opening a jar. And from here, let's heel to the right foot back about halfway. You're gonna press into that right foot. See if you can sneak your left toes off the mat. Keep that deep bend in the right knee. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Step back to a side plank with the left arm supporting, right arm up towards the sky. From here, you're gonna drop your right elbow down onto the mat so the arm is parallel with the top of the mat, and then take your left arm up towards the sky. Keep lifting your hips nice and high. Don't worry about what your body looks like in the moment. Notice how it feels. Notice how strong it is. And then let's come back to a forearm plank. So turning all your 10 fingers, if you have 10 fingers, towards the top of the mat. And then when you're ready, pick your hips up, walk into a dolphin. From here, press into your hands, see if you can rise all the way up into a downward facing dog. And then walk the hands into the feet at the back of the mat. Take a moment in your forward fold. And then heel to the feet, out to the sides, maybe to the edges of the mat, and then sink down for a Malasana squat. Hands start center. Maybe you want to shift a little bit from side to side. Let's take a few more breaths here. Keep trying to press the knees out to the side, pressing the thumbs towards the center of the chest, and maybe even bringing your chest up and forwards a touch. Maybe try to drop your chin back a little bit, so maybe giving yourself a touch of a double chin, but stacking the head on top of the shoulders. From here, take your biceps up by the ears. We're gonna rise up just a couple inches. We're gonna hold here for 3. Keep pressing your knees out towards your baby toes. 2, 1, rise up a little bit more, knees out. 3, 2, 1, just a touch more. 3, 2, 1, all the way up. Inhale, little back arch at the top. Exhale, turn your toes forwards, heels back. Crawl your way out to a high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down all the way to the belly. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, lower the chest. Curl the toes under, lift the thighs up off the mat, and then press up high plank. Press back downward facing dog. Nice work. This time, inhale, roll your way forwards, bring your left foot with you, find a low lunge. Bring the arms up by the ears, palms facing one another. Keep trying to pull your left hip crease back. And then when you're ready, let's crawl back for a half split. Keep a little bend in that left knee, and then inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Keep pulling that left hip crease back, and then option here to take the right hand to the outer edge of left foot, coming into this twist. Once again, pressing that ankle towards your wrist is going to help you find a little bit more stability in this pose. And when you're ready, let's crawl back forwards, find your lunge. Biceps up by the ears, curl the back toes under, and rise up into a crescent lunge. Pull your left hip crease back and really fire up that back knee. Exhale, bow your way forwards. Bend the back knee, let it fall down onto the mat. And then place your hands on the floor, crawl your way over to the right, and then all the way back to the back of the mat. Your shin is going to be parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then go ahead and lift that left leg and the left arm for your half moon. Half moon, I should say. Inhale here. Exhale, elbow draws into knee. We'll do this 5 times. This is the first one. Inhale, extend, bicep comes up by the ear. Exhale, draw in. This is 4. Inhale, extend. Exhale for 3. Inhale, extend. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And 1. Inhale. Step your way to the top of the mat. Left toes face the top of the mat. You're in this warrior 2 variation. Biceps come behind the ears. Draw the belly into the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Drop that left elbow down towards left knee. And then inhale. Make your way back up. Exhale. Lean your way down towards that left knee. Trying to find the C curve in the upper body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. The last one. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. On your inhale, let's crawl back towards the top, or back of the mat rather. Lift that left leg and left arm. Lower the left leg down and then open up into your gate pose. Maybe even turning the chest up towards the sky. Just allowing yourself a moment to actually feel good here. And then crawl your way back towards the top of the mat. Pass through a lunge and make your way into a wide leg pyramid pose. So working that left leg towards straight or straight-ish. Inhale, roll forwards, bend the front knee, lift the chest. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, forwards, last one. Exhale, back. This time, tip your weight forwards, float those back toes up. Come into a warrior 3. Hands can come to heart center now. Keep internally rotating that back leg, lifting from the sole of the foot. And then exhale, bend down to a Shiva squat. Tucking the right knee behind the left. Hands are at heart center. And you're shifting the weight towards that left heel. When you're ready, step the toes all the way back. Come into a warrior 1. Keep pulling your left hip crease back and pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Then interlace the hands behind the back. Slide the thumbs down the back leg as you inhale, open and lift. Exhale, roll your way forwards, humble warrior. Keep tucking your left hip underneath you and seeing if you can sink down a touch. Then go ahead and release the arms, snuggle your left shoulder under that left leg. Once again, option to have both arms straight out to the side for a flying lizard variation, or to take your bind. So grabbing the arms behind the back, going around that left leg. Go ahead and release the arms, crawl your way back into the right, Skandasana. Hands can come to heart center. Maybe they want to spread out to the side. Whatever feels good for you. Once again, keep a tiny, tiny bend in that left knee. And if you're pressing into your heel, you might feel a little bit of hamstring activation here instead of stretching. So that's kind of something that becomes a little more useful for more intermediate to advanced yogis with very flexible hamstrings. We actually end up in a position where we need to strengthen our hamstrings. Okay. When you are ready, crawl your way back towards the top of the mat. Come into a lunge, lift the chest. And then exhale, we're gonna make our way into Revolve Skandasana. Maybe that left arm reaches up towards the sky. Or maybe you wanna take the bicep by the ear, whichever feels best. And then we'll heel toe the left foot back. Press into that left foot. Begin to lift the right leg off the floor. We're here for 3. For 2. Energy in the back toes. Deep bend in the left knee. And 1. Step it back to a side plank. Lift the hips nice and high here. Wobbles are welcome. And then when you're ready, let's thread the left arm underneath, trying to get the forearm flat on the mat, and then right arm up towards the sky. Lift the hips nice and high here. Once again, don't worry about what your body looks like. Focus on how strong it is, how well it's doing this practice, and all the things it's doing for you. You exist to do a lot more than look pretty. Although I'm sure you do that also. Make your way down to a plank, a forearm plank that is. And we're just gonna roll the heels over to the right. With the heels over to the right, try to press into that left elbow. And you're gonna find this nice kind of crisscross action across the belly. Here for 2 more breaths. And then switch sides. If you guys are hearing me breathe really hard, it's because it's actually really hard for me. I'm sure it is for you too. Press into that opposite elbow. Keep trying to draw the belly button towards the spine. And then come back to the middle. Press back to dolphin. Couple breaths here. And let's drop down onto the knees. Big toes together, knees apart. Nice work. Begin to walk the hands in, and we'll just swing the legs around in front of us. And go ahead and come into a bridge pose. So just press your palms of the hands down into the mat with the elbows straight. See if you can reach your middle fingers towards your heels. And then as you're pressing down with the palms, notice the shoulders just kind of tucking behind the back. Press into the whole foot, engage the pelvic floor, lift those hips up. Try to find a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. And we're here for 3. For 2. And 1. You can begin to roll your way down. Then we'll take this with one leg. So right leg reaches up towards the sky. Inhale, lift up. Here for 3. For 2. And 1. Just go ahead and switch legs right away. Left leg lifts. Here for 3. For 2. And 1. Nice work. Go ahead and lower down. You can draw the knees now into the chest. And then exhale, take the right leg out towards the bottom of the mat. Left leg towards the bottom of the mat. Palms up towards the ceiling. Great big inhale here. Big sigh out through the mouth. Nice work. You made it. In your Savasana, just press into the back of the head a little bit. Tuck the shoulders behind the back. Press into the heels. Scoop the low back. So kind of tucking the tailbone underneath you a little more so you lengthen out the low back. And give yourself the gift of actually relaxing, of actually finishing Savasana here. If there's anything we need more of in society, it's rest. It's actually taking time for recovery and for relaxation. And if you find yourself thinking, Jody, I don't have time to rest, I don't have time to relax, then maybe you might want to start to question where those priorities lie in your life, and maybe you can start finding 1 minute to rest or 2 minutes to rest, and actually allowing yourself an intentional space to be quiet and to find a little bit of mental space. 1 minute still works, 2 minutes still works, it all still counts. Rest is a requirement, not a reward. But sometimes I get that there's not always room for it. So I encourage you to find tiny spaces in your day that you can find a little bit of mental solitude and maybe a little bit of a mental sanctuary in quietness. When you're ready, begin to introduce a little bit of movement back into your body. As always, if you do have more time to chill, I would highly recommend taking it. If not, begin to come back to earth, kind of wiggle the toes and the fingers, and then rise up to a seat. Let's bring the hands down to heart center. The highest in me bows to the highest in each and every one of you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Thanks for getting on your mat, and I can't wait to see you again on Friday. Namaste.